and welcome to today's episode of IRA Tribe. I'm your host Simran Sahu and I'm so excited about today's guest. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sajjan George to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Simran, for having me. It's a great opportunity and a great privilege to be here, to be talking to you. Thank you so much.
It is a pleasure to be here too as well. Okay, so to start, can you share a little bit about your professional journey so far?
I started my career, my journey as a trainer. It was kind of coincident as I look back, and that was a training in IT in the late 90s. And then that was the trend at that time after my graduation in computer science, and along with 3 years diploma in software engineering from Aptech Computer Education, which was there at that time. So the obvious thing was for me to get into IT industry as a technical professional, and then the trend at that time was you start with as a trainer or a IT faculty or whatever you call it, instructor in the computer institute itself. So that is what I did, and I started my training in Aptech itself as a trainer. But what happened is gradually I got the opportunity, to widen my area of work. For example, course coordinator in that academics department. So what happened is from course coordinator to branch manager, and once I became the branch manager, the IT connection, the technical side was cut off, So somehow I developed interest in the operations and HR and all other areas except for the technical side. Of course, you are overseeing the IT. It was still an IT computer training institute, but my interest got away from technical side to operations side. So from then onwards, it was mostly into operations and HR. So over the last 25 years, I've been into different industry verticals. In between, for a short period, I worked in the government as well, and then also in an NGO. But again, all that were in the operations side. So after about 24 years, when about 2 years back, this dawned on me that I have to do something more than this. What I am currently doing, it's probably some people may call it a midlife crisis or whatever in terms of profession. But then I realized that it is more than me. For myself, I have to, whatever I have learned, whatever I have acquired over the years, how can I transition that? How can I transfer the knowledge to others around me? And this interest came in me to write a collection. I developed a habit of writing quotes based on my day-to-day experiences, talk and incidents and things like that. I used to write quotes, and that became a collection of about 300 quotes, and then I thought of publishing it as a book. So And I Quote is the name of my book, that volume 1, that is already done about a year and a half. So that was the starting, and then along with that, the other things that how can I contribute more to the people around me, society around me, and so on. And then one thing struck me is that the new generation, the youths, the teens and the young adults, who are currently around us, I see them in terms of not having a real focus, or basically not knowing where they are going. So I thought, to use my experience in terms of guiding them and then leading them in terms of, or helping them create that awareness in them, and then going and helping them, in that way. So that is where this concept of coaching, training, and mentoring came in, and I decided to quit my corporate job and then come into full-time training, coaching, and mentoring.
That's so inspiring. What was the thought process behind you taking up training and coaching as a career?
As I mentioned earlier, so the whole idea to help others, the whole idea to help others is the best way is by coaching. Training, of course, is there. So that is when I decided to get into training and coaching as my professional career, and then not only as a professional career, but as a full-time business itself. So the idea is to only now people are realizing the importance of coaching, how it can help a person, and so on. So my focus area, as I mentioned, is teens and young adults. So the whole concept that I build around, is for helping them to understand that each person has a purpose in their life, and each person has the potential needed for them for that purpose inside them, and that they are given, intrinsically, they have an inbuilt passion in them. So helping them to understand that they have a purpose and they have the potential and passion inside them, and helping them connect it together so that they know what they are for here. What am I here on this earth for? And that question can be addressed with these things. So our youths, our teens, if we help them young, even from 8th standard, 10th standard, and so on, that will help them to discover themselves in terms of. Many of us realize it late in life. There are very few compared to the whole population, I would say, that who realize their potential, their whole gifts, talents, and everything that is inside them. They realize it, and then they develop it and they grow it. But majority of us don't know about it. That there is something inside me that I am here for a purpose, and that for that purpose I have the needed potential, gifts and talents inside me. Identify it, refine it, prune it, grow it, and become an expert in that. And then you become useful for you're using your full potential and efficiency to help others around you. So that way, a person is not only doing what they love, but doing what they are built for. At the same time, we say, do what you love and love what you do. That is the gelling that happens when people discover it. So my journey is to help them know, and that is the reason that I chose coaching and training and mentoring as the path to help others.
That is the reason we need coach.
That's right.
Right. Okay, so how has training and coaching transformed you as an individual?
Good question. Thank you for the question. See, coaching is something that helps a person self-realization, knowing and discovering yourself. So if I'm a coach and I'm coaching someone, my role is to help that coachee to discover themselves. So when I look at myself, how has coaching helped me and how it is helping me, I would not say that I have reached, that this is a journey and I'm still getting transformed. Of course, the good thing is that the journey has begun, so that is the good thing. So, and it is a continuous journey, I believe, in terms of lifelong learning, and everyone in some or the other way keep learning. We learn throughout our journey. So coaching has helped me to have that self-realization and self-awareness, basically connecting it with the emotional quotient or emotional intelligence about myself. What is my state of mind? Why am I doing something? Why am I saying something? Why, and then to reflect back inside me, and then help me to have that focused, look at outside. So changing my perspective based on, what is there deep inside, discovering myself, and then helping it to come out, and then use it in a positive way to help others. So I think it has definitely helped me in terms of knowing myself, my state of mind, and then regulating it in the right positive way, so that I can, when my interaction, my talk, my coaching for others can help them as well. And then, as I said, it is a continuous journey, and I'm learning all, every day some or the other thing newly. So that's been beautiful about coaching.
Okay, so my next question is, there are so many trainer and coach certifications programs available. So how does someone choose the right course?
Yeah, that's a good question and a difficult question as well. Yeah, because anything in that matter, for that matter, in the, anywhere you have to choose something, whether it is a dress, whether it is, something product to purchase. When there are more options, the more difficult it is to choose. So you look at basically the quality. You begin with the quality, And then, so now that coaching industry is growing, and then, there are, along with that, coaching providers, training institutes have come up as well. So there are more options for people to choose from. And that becomes difficult for people to choose because, and it's a competitive world all around. So my idea of the way I would look at is in terms of looking at the quality, talking, look at what the earlier students have gained from each of this. Maybe look at the feedback, look at the reviews that are there available. And then at the same time, you probably, if the option is there, to attend 1 or 2 sessions as a trial, and then decide which one would be the best one for anyone. For me, Indian Leadership Academy, ILA, has been one of the best institutes that I have found. So this is my second level of different courses that I'm doing. Last year I did one. So and then ILA has been great in terms of having a realistic projection of who they are. It is not like a typical institute. Here people, they value relationship. They value, give importance to individuals. So, which is I liked, which is I could relate, which is what I could connect. And then they also give an environment for, not only it is like a one-way, communication, one-way, thing, that training that goes on, but it is more interactive. At the same time, ILA provides an environment for the students to have a good, healthy relationship, to not to compete, but to collaborate. And that has been a beautiful journey as well. And I feel that as one of the best experiences that I have had over the last few courses and the current one that I'm doing, that the facilitator, the coach or the mentor trainer gives that opportunity for us to collaborate as students. Group discussion, group projects, group assignments. So it has been wonderful. And so these are some of the aspects that you look at it holistically. And of course, cost part also comes, and I believe that ILA has been very reasonably competitive as compared to anybody else, and it has been, and making it affordable for those who want to get into coaching. So basically looking at all these aspects together as a holistic thing, and then making a decision would be the right approach for choosing a coaching or training institute.
Obviously, because it's very important to identify yourself, and it's going to be tough as well. Okay, so are there any 1 to 2 books that you would recommend for trainers and coaches?
Yes, there are many books, obviously. There are many books available by great authors. But I would like to recommend 2 of the recent books that I was able to review. And one of them is A Shift in Being by Leon Vanderpool. And the other one is Coach the Person by Marcia Reynolds. So these are the 2 books, very good books, very meaningful and very in-depth in terms of what a coach can learn, and various, in-depth dive into what coaching is and what are different methodologies, frameworks and approaches that coaches can use. And it is a very useful 2 books that I, came across recently.
Okay, so what would be your message to aspiring trainers and coaches?
Yeah, that's a good point, a good question. Anybody who wants to help others, if you have the right motives to help others in terms of develop others, groom others, and then help others to come out of whatever challenges that they're facing, and helping them to find a solution within themselves. So the coaching and mentoring approach is an excellent career path. So anybody who's willing to, planning to get into that area, that field of coaching and training or mentoring, my advice or my suggestion is to reflect back once again within them, to understand that, it is not about money, it is not about anything else, but the pure, sincere intention and motives inside of you to help others. So if you have that in you, if you are passionate about helping others in terms of making them realize their potential of others. So that this would be a good place for you to start, and you should continue with your journey with coaching and mentoring. At the same time, there are you have to equip yourself with various. Of course, you should know what is coaching, how it is done, and so on. So, taking a professional approach and going through a professional journey in terms of doing a professional certification, and then so that you build a credential of yourself that you are a learned and coach, so that others are comfortable in terms of knowing that it's like any profession you do. If you have a certification, people are comfortable knowing that certification you have, that means you have done something. So coaching, because it is new, experience wise you may be lacking behind, but the coaching training itself, the training that you get through these certification programs is good enough to equip you to start the journey. So those who have begun coaching as a career long back, let's say 10-15 years back, so they started slow and they have built their reputation in the market. So they probably may not need a certification because they already built their personal branding and the identity as a coach. But somebody who's getting in newly into coaching definitely needs a professional certification. There are multiple professional certification around the world. ICF is one of them, and which I am in the journey of doing certification with. So similarly, people who are wanting to becoming coaches should go the professional route of certification. At the same time, you should be, first of all, you should check yourself what is your motive behind, and the motive. If your motive is your intention to help others, you should continue the journey through this kind of route. Is what my advice and suggestion would be.
Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights. It was wonderful to learn from your experience.
I appreciate the opportunity. I mean, I'm glad that I could share some time. And once again, I appreciate the opportunity that you have given me, Simran, for sharing my experience. I hope it is useful and helpful for your audiences and listeners. Thank you once again.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe Indian Leadership Academy for more inspiring conversation. Until next time.